Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to have a look at increment and decrement operators in relational expressions plus a little bit of exercise. Right, so we are going to declare a variable, and using our if condition, we can use relational expressions in here and then see how this works out. So let's create a variable named x equals, let's say, 10. And then we say if our x plus plus is greater than 10, then we can output some message to the user. Say x is greater than 10. Then we can get a new line. So what is going on here? This time we have a relational operator here where we are checking if the left hand side is greater than the right hand side. So what do you think will be the output of this? In here, the value is 10. And then after making use of this, it is going to increase this by 1. So inside here, the value x is going to be checked against this, which originally is 10. So we are going to have 10 is 10 greater than 10, which is no. So we should not see any output because we do not have an else statement here. So let's run this and see what we are going to get as our output. So we don't expect to see anything because this is 10 and 10 is not greater than 10, so we can't output anything here. So let's close the program and then do else see out the value of x, and this right here, you can guess this is going to be 11, right? Sure. So the value which was checked against this 10 here was 10, and after doing the check, 1 was added to our x, which makes it 11. So in here, this condition is going to be false. So if it's false, then we print what is inside our else statement. Then we can have this right here, 11. So let's run this. Then let's change this to plus plus x is greater than 10. This time around, we have a prefix increment. So what is the compiler going to do? First thing, it is going to increment the value by 1 before it checks it against the right hand side. So we are going to have 10 plus 1, and then we check, is the value here greater than 10? Then obviously this is going to be yes. So when we output this here, or still x, we can do x and we expect to see end line, and we expect to see 11, right? No hard feelings. X is greater than 10, and then the value you see here, 11, is from the if statement, not the else statement, right? So that will be it for the relational operators. You can try your hands on the decrement operators too. So let's have a look at some simple things we can try our hands on. So I'm going to take this away. Then we can have some things here. So assuming you have this as your code, what do you expect the output to be? All right, so what is actually going on here? We have int x equals 2, int y equals plus plus x. Then we have outputting the values inside it. So what is going to be the values we see on the screen? Right, so the magic here is incrementing the value of x by 1 and assigning it to your y variable. Right, so two things are happening here again. First is the prefix increment, and second, assigning the value to y. So we come here, x is 2. Before we assign it to y, we have to increase it by 1, which will give us 3. And then we store 3 to our variable y. Then again, keep in mind the variable x is going to be increased or changed in memory. So now x is no more 2 in memory. It has been increased. Right? Yes, so it was increased and it was given to this. So we can output this and we expect x to now be 3 and our y can also be 3. So let's run this and see what we have. So we have x being 3 and y being 3 also. Right, so we can have a look at the second example we have. We can do this. Obviously, let's get a space here. Then we can continue. So we have x being 2, y being 4. Then we say cout x plus plus and then minus minus y. So what is the magic here? We have x being 2. Two things happening here. First, output the value and then you can increase it by 1. Then we have the prefix decrement. Two things happening here. First is decrease the value by 1 and then you can output it. So what do we want to see when we run this? We expect to have x being 2 and y being 3. Right, so let's run this and see the outcome. We have 2, 3 as we said. So let's go on to the next things on the table. So we can have this. Right, so we have this here. And what is actually going on here? You can think about this and give an answer before you go ahead. We have x being 2, y being 2 times x plus plus, where our x is a postfix increment, is having a postfix increment operator. So first thing happening here is we are going to have this x being multiplied by our 2, right? Then this is going to give us 4, and that gets assigned to y. And in between the lines somewhere, our x value is incremented in memory, which is going to be 3. So right, we come to this line and we expect our x to be 3 in memory, and our y is also going to be 4, because the expression here is going to take the value in memory that was already in memory before it's incremented, right? So let's run this and we expect our x to be 3 and y to be 4. Right, so we can go to the next thing, which is this right here. All right, we have x being 99, and same thing as the relational expression we had before. So this is x plus plus, which is going to check x being 99 against 100 before it increments the value to 100. So is x less than 100? And of course, x is less than 100 in this case because it's checking 99 against 100. So we get to see it is true, right? But then if we were to output this, to the screen, we are going to have x being 100 because after the expression x was incremented in memory, right? So let's run this and we expect to see the true statement. So it is true, but then the value of x is 100, right? You get to see 100, but that wasn't what the condition checked, right? So let's look at the next thing. That's the last thing, and that's being x equals 0 and x plus plus. This will be a bit, so plus plus x plus plus x. This is going to be a bit different from what we've done so far. So this comes down to what we call booleans, right? So in boolean we have true, false, 0, 1. 0 goes with false and 1 goes with true, right? So this right here we have plus plus x, where our x is 0 in memory already, right? So we come here, then we do increment the value of x by 1, right? So we get x to be 1. Then we check if it is 1, then obviously it is true, right? So we see this being printed out, our true statement. It is true and the value is 1. But the other way around, if we were to do x plus plus, this is going to check what is in memory already with a condition, right? So 0, it checks 0 with a condition and prints that 0 is false, right? So it's going to print the else statement, right? But then if you are to print this to the screen from our else statement, we are going to have the value to be 1, right? I hope you get it at this point. So let's run this, and then we expect to see it is false, but then still the value of x in memory is 1, right? So this right here will be the end of this class, right? So I'll get to see you in the next video.